Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to do a video on my 2019 in review. First off, a disclaimer, I do apologize for the lighting and the quality of this video. I currently lost my camera. I was going to say phone, but my phone's right next to me. I currently lost my phone. See, here I go again with my phone. My camera maybe about a year and a half ago, and I haven't really had time to go and buy a new one. I don't have a light, so I'm kind of using a lot of natural light coming in from the window that I have here. But I do wanted to do a video on my 2019 in review on what happened in my 2019 and how it went, how everything is going, and what I expect maybe my 2020 to be looking like this year. So 2019 was a whirlwind of emotions. A lot of goods and bads did happen in that time period. So I'll start off with January. January was really well. I met my boyfriend on January 6th, so that would be actually on Monday. Our 1 year anniversary would be on Monday. So I'm looking really forward to that because it's been a long time since I've been in a really good relationship that I am in now. I also apologize if I'm going to lose my voice or if I'm sniffling. I had a really bad flu in December, which I will get to what I have been through in December. So I met my boyfriend in January of 2019. We dated. A lot of people ask how we met. And it's actually really funny because we actually met on Tinder. Of all places, we actually met on Tinder. So he's the first person that I've been with that actually really has been very extremely supportive of everything that's been in my past. I also went through a recent divorce, which was horrible. I went through a lot of depression in my past before he came along. I was in a relationship with a guy who also was very, let's say, mentally and emotionally abusive. My ex-husband was, I believe, to be physically abusive, but I could be completely wrong on that. So when we first started dating, we were pretty much inseparable. We actually knew that we were going to be very close. We actually ended up moving in together a few months later. So February, he was in school. He was up in Edmonton. We moved. So I'm in Canada, if none of you know. So I moved to we're closer to where he is, but we met in Edmonton. And he and I were very inseparable. He was in school when we had met, so he was just starting and finishing school. And so we were very inseparable until he finished school in March. So he was only in school for 2 months, but he managed to finish his schooling for a journeyman, whatever. Great, good for him. In that time period, he had asked me to move in with him. Move down further south and towards the Calgary area with him. And I said, well, I wasn't sure because of my past. I was very, 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 very wary on it. But I thought about it and I looked deep down inside and I realized I probably should. This seems like a good move for me. It could work well for me with my past and everything. And I just need something new and fresh. And so we moved. We found a place down south of now by Calgary. We are in this place now. We moved in April on my birthday. I found a job a couple weeks later. During that summer, I started doing a lot more active things than I normally would have done because of my past. I didn't have, what is the word I'm looking for? I guess I didn't have somebody who wanted to do a lot of those things with me that actually did them. And he's the only person that I've actually ever met who has done that. And so I went out and I did like mountain biking with him, but my asthma started acting up, which is really weird because my asthma was never bad until I moved down here. It's gotten worse. But I powered through it. I almost wanted to plunge myself off a mountain. That's another story for another day. Because I thought I was going to die. I literally thought I was going to die. And then that was in July or August. I can't remember which it was. But I was doing a lot of mountain biking, getting myself out there, doing more active stuff. Great, cool, whatever. Winter comes around. We're still living together. We actually bought a place. We're building a place right now, so that's how serious we are. We're building a place. Oh, in February, I think it was at the end of May or June. I can't remember. June, I think it was. I actually ended up filing for bankruptcy. And he was the only one that was able to push me forward and say, hey, you need to do this. You need to do this because it's going to be beneficial for the both of us in the long run and for you to move forward in your life. Because my past, my ex, and whatever happened back then screwed me over in my credit, my debt, and everything, that I couldn't handle it anymore, so he ended up pushing me to do it. My mom had told me a year prior that I needed to do it, that I needed to file for bankruptcy, but I never did. He has been the person to push me into doing things like that nobody has ever been able to do, which I love him to death for that, because, and I admire that of him. His persistence and the way he pushes me into doing things that I normally don't do really help. And I've never had that in my life where somebody's been able to push me and say, hey, no, you need to go and do this. I believe in you. I will be standing next to you this whole time, and I will, be there for you to help you through it. So I went through that. So I had lost my vehicle, so we bought a new vehicle, like an old beat-up car or whatever, so he can drive to work. I was driving his truck because his truck is too much. Anyway, and now November comes around. We're still waiting for our house to be built. It hasn't been built yet, and they told us, oh, it'll be done by probably February, March. Well, now come January, come December, we finally got an email saying that we need to go and meet with the builder. The builder says, oh yeah, we'll start the framing within the next week. Finally, we got some answers on that. So in October, so I'm going to backtrack to October again. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place right now in my 2019. But in October, I have found a new job that actually was going to pay me more, and I thought was going to be a little bit better than where I am now. They paid me a little bit more, which wasn't very much, but it did help a lot with the bills and whatever. It was only a minimum wage job here, which isn't very much. Which only starts at $15 an hour, which isn't very much, really. It doesn't help you with anything because everything is so expensive out here. And so I was there for a few months, but it was the most stressful job I think I have ever had. They push you into doing time limits that is freaking impossible. They tell you, oh no, you need to do this, you need to do that within this time period, but also if you're helping customers at the same time, how are you supposed to get this stuff done in that time period when they say customer service comes first? It makes absolutely no sense. So December comes around. My boyfriend, he goes off to Whistler for a ski trip with his buddy. Whatever, I'm feeling kind of down and under the weather. This isn't the first week of December. And then he comes home, everything's great, whatever, right? He starts getting really sick, sore throat, whatever. A couple days later, I'm feeling okay. I'm still working at this place. I'm feeling okay, but I'm still kind of feeling off. And I knew something wasn't right. So then on Friday the 13th, actually, December 13th, I woke up in the morning feeling extremely congested in my chest. It just congested. I was coughing. I just felt like crap. I still went to work. And I thought, okay, you know what? Whatever, bypass all that chest congestion. Wow, I can't say that word today. That, it's going to be at least somewhat of a decent day today, right? Wasn't thinking anything of it. I'm like, okay, it's going to be a good day. And then my boss pulls me up and says, I need to see you in my office. Right then and there, I knew something was up. So I go into the office, and my boss and our regional manager was in there, and they pretty much kind of took me aside and said, hey, this is what's going to happen. We are actually going to let you go. And I was like, oh, okay, like, why? And they're like, well, because of the reason that, we don't feel that you're going up to speed, blah, blah, blah. You're not really at the fast pace that we need you to be at, and whatever. And I'm thinking, I'm going as fast as I can. Like, this is ridiculous. I'm going as fast as I can for doing what I can when I'm running up and down, doing things, helping customers, going to the front, helping customers at the front, the cashier, whatever, right? And I thought, oh my God, this is so stupid. And that's when I found out It was 2 days previous before my 3-day probation period was ending. So they couldn't even actually really give me a really good enough reason why they were getting rid of me. They could have given me a reason, but they didn't. That was the reason why they gave me. But they didn't have to. But anyway, and then they had the audacity to say, oh, you can stay after work. Stay and work the rest of your shift. After they literally pretty much told me that I was fired. I'm thinking, no, it's okay, I'm going home. Like, whatever. And they're like, well, because you showed up, we're going to pay you for the rest of the day. Great, cool, whatever. I don't really give a shit. I just want to go home and get out of here after all this because you guys are just freaking... I don't know. I'm thinking... And all of this, I'm thinking, I'm actually glad that they fired me in a way because of me quitting. Because I'm not a quitter. I try not to quit as much as I can. And honestly, it was really embarrassing. One, that I was there for maybe about an hour and then I left. Two, you know, like, I wanted to actually quit multiple times, but I couldn't because of that reason. But hey, whatever. I really don't care. I'm passing over that. But that was just the start of my December. A couple days later, I ended up in urgent care. Urgent care and or emergency room. Because I could not breathe. My asthma started acting up. And usually when my asthma acts up, I can deal with it without an inhaler within about maybe 20 minutes. This went on for about 45 minutes. And it was not going away. And that's when I looked at my boyfriend and I said, we need to go to the emergency room because I do not feel right. Something's not right. Right? So we went to the emergency room. Found out that my asthma was acting up really, really, really bad. I did have a viral infection, has some kind of infection. They weren't sure if it was bacterial or viral. So they gave me some asthma inhalers and some antibiotics. So great, cool, whatever. And some steroids to help keep my airways open. But because they gave me antibiotics, they didn't know if it was a viral or if it was bacterial. And the antibiotics won't work if it's a viral infection, right? A little bit later, after I went home and I got all my prescriptions and everything, I ended up losing my voice completely. So I realized I have laryngitis. I started taking these antibiotics. Great, cool, whatever. We went to my boyfriend's Christmas party. I was feeling okay. We left that night and I could not breathe at all. Came home, took my inhaler. I was fine. Literally 2 days later, after day 3 of taking those antibiotics, I got an allergic reaction. So bad, from my chest all the way down to my hips, and my arms were beet red. I was covered in rash and in hives. And it eventually slowly made its way up to my face. My face was beet red. My head and my scalp, I should say, were affected as well. And all the way down to my feet, to my toes. So literally from head to toe, I was covered in hives and I was covered in a rash. That was extremely hard to deal with. And I ended up going back into the emerge because I've never had an allergic reaction this bad before to antibiotics or anything like that. They told me that I was very lucky that I didn't have an anaphylactic shock or anything else, as of the reason that it was really bad, that they've never seen it this bad before. And of course, I'm still somewhat losing my voice. At that point, I was so itchy and so red. I was like, they gave me some more steroids. They gave me some extra strength antihistamines because Benadryl wasn't working. Let's just be honest. Benadryl wasn't working. So that was a week later. I went back. Christmas comes around. I went home for Christmas for a couple days. Well, I was supposed to go home for a couple days, but it ended up only being a day because we were both still not feeling well. My boyfriend was still sick. He had sore throat, like you would not believe. He had ear infection. He also had, nasal congestion, sinus congestion. I wasn't sleeping at all at this time. I hadn't slept in probably about a week. In a week, we were both pretty much sleeping inside our bedrooms at this point because we didn't want it to contaminate whatever it was that we both had because we knew something was up, right? Went home, great, cool, whatever. My mom saw me and she thought, oh my God, Tasha, you are so lucky that, you probably didn't die because this is insane. It was crazy. My mom was in shock that this happened, right? And my voice was still not, we went home Christmas Eve because I could not do it. We were there on the 23rd. We went back home on Christmas Eve, and a couple days days later, I still didn't have a voice. And I knew I had laryngitis, and I kind of was like, oh my god, I'm not going to be able to do this. I'm not going to be able to figure out how the hell I'm going to do anything. I still haven't even looked for a job because I've been so sick that I didn't even think about it. I was just like, I can't do this. Anyway, and then I was like, oh my god. So I was on voice rest for a long time. And I mean a long time. Up until I think a couple days ago, my voice finally came back, but it's still kind of off and on. And I'm not sure if you can tell. I'm still a little bit congested, but it's not as bad as it was. Finally, my rash and my hives have gone away. Thank God. But otherwise, December of 2019 was probably the worst month of 2019. Oh, I also took up skiing during the winter holidays too. I only went a few times. I haven't skied. I think I'm doing all right, but I'm like, I have no idea. But I'm going to keep trying, keep pushing myself through that. Now as 2020 is here, what do I see happening in 2020? Well, I know for sure we're going to be living in our new house, probably sometime in end of April, maybe early March. No, May. Sorry, wow, I don't know my months. So that eventually, and I'm planning on going back to school. I do have to do some upgrading, so I'm doing some upgrading, and then I'm going to go back to school, hopefully to get a better job. But as for my 2020, I'm really hoping it'll stay as steady as it kind of was of 2019, but maybe a little bit better. I don't want my past to come back and haunt me, because every time that happens, it gets worse. So yeah, that is my 2019 in review. A lot of people are probably wondering, oh my god, Tasha, where's my Jeffree Star mystery box update? I will actually post another video on that very soon. I'm gonna maybe do it right after this one, maybe film it right after this one, to let you guys know what happened with that. So yeah, I really do hope you guys have a good 2019, wow, 2020, and I really hope to be spending more time with you guys, telling you more stories. Maybe I will do more stories of, my past, of like my depression and then all that other stuff, if that's what you guys want to hear, maybe some random story times. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I got to find a new camera too, so somehow along that way, because I'm still not working, so we'll get there eventually. Yeah, so I will see you guys in my next video, which will probably be the Jeffree Star one, and I hope you guys have a great year. Thanks. Bye.